போற்றியோம் நம சிவாய. போற்றியோ நம சிவாய. Is it okay, Pushpa?
It is, Swamiji.
எல்லாமுடையான் குருவாகி இங்கே எமது அல்லல்லறுத்தான் என்றுந்தீவர அவன் தாள் தொழுவாம் என்றுந்தீவர. போற்றுதலுக்கும் நாளும் நம்மை நன்னெறிப்படுத்தலுக்கும் உரிய அருள்மிகு அம்பலவான பெருமான் ஆலமர் செல்வர் அம்மையப்பருடைய இன்னொருளாலும் உயிர்க்கு துணையாக திகழ்ந்து கொண்டிருக்கக்கூடிய சமயக்குறவர்கள், திருமுறையாசிரியர்கள், நாயன்மார்கள், சந்தானக்குறவர்கள், ஆதீனக்குறவர்கள், திருவள்ளுவர் தொல்காப்பியராகிய சான்றோர் பெருமக்களுடைய நல்லருளாலும் திருக்கைலாய பரம்பரை மெய்கண்ட சந்தானம் பேரூர் ஆதீனம் ஆதி குரு முதல்வர் சாந்தலிங்க பெருமானுடைய தன்னருளாலும் உதகையாதீனம் ஆதி குருமுதல்வர் ஏகாம்பர தேசியருடைய நல்லருளாலும் தெய்வ திருப்பெருந்திரு கைலை குருமணி தமிழர் ஒளிவாட்டத்தை 24ஆம் குருமகா சன்னிதானங்களுடைய பொன்னார் திருவடி குருவருளாலும் எல்லோரும் எல்லா நலங்களும் பெற்று வாழ இறையொருளை வேண்டிக் கொள்ளுகின்றோம். எம்மதத்தோர் வகை நிட்டை செய்யினும் சம்மதமே நமக்குந்தீபர தற்போதம் ஐக்கு மேலுந்தீவர. This stanza is from Sandalinga Swami's Aviroda Undiyar. In his Aviroda Undiyar, he quoted that whatever may be the ritual, whatever may be the philosophy, whatever may be the religion you are following, it is acceptable to all. And in the third line, he is giving emphasis that it should eliminate the ego within us. Whatever may be the doctrine or whatever may be the philosophy, it should eliminate the ego within us. This is what the meaning of the stanza I told previously. Sandalinga Swami wrote in his book Aviroda Undiyar 500 years ago. Our Swami Sachidananda Gurudev also preaching the same doctrine. For that only he built one temple called Light of Truth Universal Shrine, that is Lotus in Yogaville, and the second one is also built in Coimbatore in his birthplace. In this Lotus, we come across different altars, but for different religions, different doctrines in the world. Now we are going to concentrate on all these doctrines, just like during the important functions, we are going to Lotus and paying our prayer to all the altars in the Lotus. Today also we are going to all the altars. Now we are going to start the practice. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine bliss. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine bliss. The atmosphere around us is being purified by the divine bliss. The divine bliss enters into our body, mind, and soul and purifies them. The divine bliss enters into our body, mind, and soul and purifies them. You are getting the blessings from the parents and gurus. Salutations to mother, salutations to father, pranams to all the gurus. We are chanting Om. 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 Without Om, O. Without sound, absolute silence, exhaling and observing the pranavam all over the body. Now, the cleansing the spinal cord, closing the left nose from the bottom of the spinal cord. We are bringing our mind pranavam to the top of the head by inhaling, closing the right nose, exhaling, coming down to the bottom of the spinal cord. From the bottom of the spinal cord, we are inhaling along with our mind and pranava going up to the head, closing the left nose, exhaling and coming down to the bottom of the spinal cord. From the bottom of the spinal cord, we are inhaling along with our mind and pranava to the top of the head. On the top of the head, we visualize a small Sivalingam. We are inhaling and exhaling. We are entering into the lotus. We all gather in front of the altar for Hinduism. By inhaling and exhaling, we think of the scholars, saints, philosophers of Hinduism, and we are getting the blessings from all the spiritual leaders of Hinduism. We can chant in the elegant lotus of the heart, dwells Brahman, in the light of light. We are putting the pedals on the altar and getting the blessings from the saints of Hinduism. Next, we are going to the altar of Judaism. We think of all the scholars, religious leaders, philosophers of Judaism. We are paying pranams to them by way of offering flower petals in this altar, and we are inhaling and exhaling the spiritual power of these scholars of Judaism. And we can chant a word from Psalms. The Lord is my light, whom shall I fear? We can think of the words and the getting blessings from the religious leaders of this Judaism. Now we are going to the altar of Jainism. We are thinking of all the philosophers, founders, spiritual leaders of Jainism. We think of them by inhaling and exhaling and offering flower petals in this altar, getting the blessings from the scholars of Jainism. And we can think of a quote from Asaranga. Enlightened by the light of truth, the wise stands in death. Again, we are inhaling and exhaling and get the blessings from the spiritual leaders of Jainism. Now we are going to the altar of Taoism. We are inhaling and exhaling with absolute silence and get the blessings from the scholars, the leaders, philosophers of Taoism. We are offering flower petals in the altar and get the blessings from them. Quote from LOTUS: following the light in the sage takes care of all. With this quotation, we think of them, and now we are going to the altar of Buddhism. We can think of all the spiritual leaders, founders, philosophers in Buddhism by inhaling and exhaling with absolute silence. And we are offering flower petals on the altar and get the blessings from the leaders, spiritual leaders of Buddhism. By inhaling and exhaling with absolute silence, we can think of a quote from Sammapada. The radiance of Buddha shines ceaselessly. Now we are going to the altar of Christianity. We can think of all the spiritual leaders, founders, saints of Christianity. By inhaling and exhaling with absolute silence, we are offering the flower petals on the altar and getting the blessings from them. We can think of a quote from the Holy Bible. I have come into the whole world as light. Now we are going to the altar of Islam. We are thinking of all the spiritual leaders, founders, saints, philosophers in this religion. By inhaling and exhaling with absolute silence, we are offering the flower petals on the altar, and we are getting the blessings from them. By inhaling and exhaling with absolute silence, and we can think of a quote from the Holy Quran. Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth. Now we are going to the altar of Sikhism. We think of the spiritual leaders, founders, philosophers, saints of Sikhism. By inhaling and exhaling with absolute silence, we are offering the petal in memory of them, in appraising them. We can think of the quote from Adi Grantha. God, being truth, is the one light of all. Now we are going to the altar of African faiths. We think of all the spiritual leaders, founders, saints, philosophers of African faiths. By inhaling and exhaling with absolute silence, we are offering the flower petals on the altar and get the blessings from them. We can think of the quote from tribal African. God is the sun beaming light everywhere. You are inhaling and exhaling with absolute silence and get the blessings from them. Now we are thinking of Native American faiths. We think of the founders, spiritual leaders, philosophers, saints of Native American faiths. We are offering flower petals on the altar with absolute silence, inhaling and exhaling. We are getting the blessings from them. and think of the quote from Song of Gablaya, the light of Vakandanga is upon my people. Now we are going to the altar of other known faiths. Think of all the spiritual leaders, saints, philosophers of other known faiths. We are offering flower petals on the altar and get the blessings from them. And we can think of the quote, truth is one, paths are many. ஒன்று அது பெரு வழி அதற்கு ஆறுல. We are getting the blessings from the spiritual leaders of known faiths. Finally, we think of the faiths still unknown, and we are offering the flower petals on the altar and get the blessings from the spiritual leaders of that faith by inhaling and exhaling with absolute silence. As the light from all the faiths are going upward to the top of the shrine and become a one beam, or otherwise the vertical beam of faith is, is spreading through the branches of light to all the religions in the world. We can think of all the religions. We are getting blessings from all the religions. Now we are going to the Mount Kailash in the Himalayas. It is common to all the religions. We go around Mount Kailash. First of all, the outer parikrama, that is outer ring. Then we are getting into the ring, inner ring. We are get the blessings from the Almighty with different forms by the grace of all the spiritual leaders who think of Mount Kailash, who are living in Mount Kailash, and we are getting blessings from them, and we are also offering the flowers at the feet of Kailash by inhaling and exhaling with the blessings of all the leaders of different religions and the Almighty of Mount Kailash. In this calm stage of our mind, we can pray for the well-being of ourselves. By the grace of Almighty, we all may enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, happiness, wisdom, and peace. By the grace of Almighty, we all may enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, happiness, wisdom, and peace. By the grace of Almighty, we all may enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, happiness, wisdom, peace, ecstasy, and all the prosperities in our life. In this calm stage of our mind, we are extending our universal brotherhood. We can think of all the human beings, all the living beings, all the creatures, all are the creation of Almighty. They are also by and part of the Almighty. This practice will help us to develop the concept of truth is one, parts are many, and we can develop the concept all the religions leads to Almighty. Now onwards, we should not do any harmfulness to any practice in the world. We are thinking of them and bless all the persons of all religions, all the races, all creed, country, language, whatever may be the discrimination we are given, may all of them are blessed by the Almighty, and we will work for the unity of all religions. Now we are going to think of the life partner. May get all the blessings in his life. Think of the children of the family. They are also get all the prosperities in their life. Think of friends and relatives. They are also getting all the prosperities in their life. We can think of all the persons, those who are superiors, co-workers, subordinates in our day-to-day life. Either it may be a profession, job, or work, whatever it may be. All of them are blessed by the Almighty with all the prosperities. We can think of the persons, those who are celebrating their birthday and wedding anniversary today. They may also get all the prosperities in their life. We can think of the persons, those who are having physical and mental illness, and those who were affected by the corona COVID-19, the pandemic disease all over the world. By the grace of Almighty, they should get quick recovery. The recovery rate should increase. The positive rate should change. Everyone should be vaccinated, and all of them should get it off from this illness. And we can also think of the persons, those who are involving in eradicating the pandemic disease, the medical field, the revenue field, security field, the rulers, manufacturers all over the world. May the Almighty give them willpower, confidence, and all the prosperities to serve the people. We can think of the enemies, foes, and those who are quarreling each other in the name of religion, language, nation, race, creed, and other things. They should also get enlightenment and get all the prosperities in their life. We can think of the whole world. May the whole world enjoy happiness, wisdom, peace, ecstasy, and prosperities. காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி கையிலே மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி வாழ்க அந்த நேர்வனவர் ஆனினம் வீழ்க தன்புணல் வெந்தனும் ஒங்குக ஆழ்க தீயதெல்லாம் அரண் நாமாமே சூழ்க வையகம் துய தீர்கவே சிற்றம்பலம். Now we can raise our hand up to upon our head, slightly rub it and apply on our palm and spread all over the body. Potri Om Namah Shivaya.